We on Boss Talk 101. Yeah, we gon' talk, we gon' have fun. We be on fire, we be lit. It's a unique hustle. Big.
Check it. It's a unique hustle. It's your boy ECO, and I'm here with the lovely, amazing official Miss Jamaica. You don't know what I'm laughing about, but it's crazy. I was thinking about Chico Bean when he said he was like, we just bobbing. You got the headphones on. Now with the other two headphones over there, we ain't even put them on, but I'm gonna put them back on y'all ears so y'all can really jam out. Yeah. Let's get to it, man. So, man, I'm here with the lovely, amazing, official Miss Jamaica.
Well, go on, madam. I want y'all to stop what you're doing right now. Go like, subscribe, follow us from all social media platforms. When I mean all, I mean our Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, you name it. We're on it. Just Google us, Boss Talk Podcast 101. We pop up first in line, I guarantee you. But y'all see us in the street and talk about, man, I love what y'all doing. Keep up the good work. How can we be a part of Boss Talk 101? This is how you can be a part of Boss Talk 101. Under each and every video, including this one right here in the description section below, there's a link that says join our membership. Click that link, follow all the instructions, and that's how you get to see all our exclusive content that everybody been asking us, where's this interview, where's that interview? It's on our YouTube channel, and you have to be a member to see it. Thank you in advance, and we love you. Sign up today. Don't forget.
Hey, check it, man. We out here in Kansas City, Missouri. Make sure you say Kansas City, Missouri, or else they start acting funny with you and start talking crazy and booing you and all kind of stuff. So you gotta put that on there. If you don't, they gonna trip, man.
Yeah.
Is that true, Suli4Q?
That's a fact. Yeah.
That's it?
That's it. KC Mo. You know what I'm saying?
So as y'all can see, man, we got my boy Suli4Q in the building, man. Yeah. It's going down.
Yeah, we on Boss Talk 101. Yeah, we are.
How you doing, man?
Man, every day's a good day. I'm blessed, highly favored. I'm spoiled, man. I can't complain.
Man, let's get to it, Miss Jamaica. Ladies first.
So you're born and raised here in Kansas City?
Yes.
What part?
I'm from 29th Street.
29th?
Right off of Prospect. Go block down 29th and Benton. That's me. That's where I grew up the whole time, all the way to 18 years old.
So how was 29? Because we went on 43rd.
Is it the Crips and the Blood? Which one is it, Crip or the Blood?
Yeah.
I'm so sick of this, man.
So 29 is the hood?
Yeah. I'm from the inner city, yeah. It's the hood for sure, yeah.
Okay, so what is your experience? Tell me about a situation. Like, I know nothing about 29th Street. Tell me what it was like growing up on 29th Street.
So, I think it's just like most inner cities around America, honestly. It's a poverty-stricken area, but it's unhappy people. So everybody starts off doing Michael Jackson in the mirror, and then they go outside and, they mingling in with a bunch of unhappy people, got to protect themselves and start turning into, somebody different, somebody they don't recognize over time. And it's challenging to get back to, that kid that used to do Michael Jackson in the mirror. That's pretty much all of our stories. Some of us.
So you did Michael Jackson in the miror?
All of us did. You know what I'm saying? Don't let them trick you. You know what I'm saying?
They did it.
Yeah, they did. Don't let them trick you. You know what I'm saying? The super tough guys, they, some of them prison, forever. A lot of us not here. I'm one of the few. I'm over the survivors guild now. I don't got that anymore. I'm here and I'm blessed. I made the right choices to be here today. You know what I mean? But a lot of us aren't here. So,
I just recently started hearing about that survivor's guilt. Yeah. And how long did it take you to get over that survivor's guilt?
This is recent for me. Like, I would say this year. You know what I'm saying?
But how long did you suffer from that before you got over it?
Like probably 19 is like when it really started happening for me, because you start losing.
So it took
people.
You a while to get over it.
Yeah, for sure. Because you start losing people to gun violence pretty early growing up where I grew up. And, at 19, it's really start hitting closer to home. So it's like people that you with every day in the studio, you kicking it, so on and so forth. I'm out in Atlanta. Get a phone call, devastating phone call. Somebody real close to me got shot on his porch. You know what I'm saying? So come back, dealing with all those emotions. You know what I'm saying? And you start to feel like, well, dang, that could have been me. You know what I mean? So, and then again, you know what I'm saying? Like, these are all people that are good people in your eyes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because we understand why we do what we do. So we understand each other. We understand why we did this. On the outside, it could be frowned upon, but it makes sense to us. You know what I'm saying? So you know, these are like amazing people. These are people that got your back, so on and so forth. So when you lose them, the outside world don't understand because they view them as a thug or so on and so forth. But again, like I say, I'm being funny with Michael Jackson in the mirror, but just using that to highlight the innocence of a child. You know what I'm saying? You start off a super innocent child, and then you have these experiences that kind of mold you into something different, where the only people that really know the true you are the ones that's in your inner circle.
Exactly.
You know what
so
I
let
mean?
me ask you this now. So I'm going to ask you, so if I'm supposed to say, who was Suli as a young child? Now, who you are now, because I know you can tell me all who you are now, but as a young person who's trying to figure out who he is, describe who you were back then.
I would say that I was always delusionally optimistic. You know, I always had big dreams since a child, and I was always I was very protective. So a lot of the trouble that I got into was me having a big heart and being a protector. You know what I'm saying? So I never, in my first fight in elementary school was a kid was bullying
somebody else.
Yeah, somebody else, and I beat the bully up, and I got suspended. That's my first time. You know what I'm saying? That's always been who I was. You know, always wanting, you know, other people to be happy, pouring into other people. And I think, you know, and I've always kind of stood on me, if that makes sense. So I kind of fought to be myself in a way, if that makes sense.
Where did you get that protective instinct from? Why did you feel like you had to have the urge to protect people?
I think just my household. So my parents did music, so they traveled a lot. They would, you know, tour, do shows, so on and so forth. And I was in charge of the house. So I would had to protect my younger siblings.
One?
I was the oldest,
Okay.
yeah. So I would protect my younger siblings and make sure that they had everything they need. I was walking to the grocery store at 9 years old. You know what I'm saying? With the grocery list, getting in trouble if you drop the eggs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, but you know, and when my brother started walking with me, they would tell me like, all right. And he's younger too, so we like 10, 9 years old walking to the grocery store.
So not that much younger. He's just like a year younger.
But he's shielded by me, so he didn't experience the stuff I experienced because I've always protected him, if that makes sense. So even though he's only a year younger than me, you would think like we were like 10 years apart. You know what I mean?
Right.
In age, you know what I mean? So, you know, that's kind of who I've always been. You know what I'm saying? I've always been sort of you know, that core personality, and then depending on the situation, it just brings out different parts of you. But that's like my core.
So you say your mom and your dad both did music?
Yeah, they both did
what did they do, and who were they?
My parents were in a group called Islamic Force. Yeah, my parents were in a group called Islamic Force. So my dad, who is now an imam, was very like a Muslim. So I grew up in a Muslim household, and my mom's family's Christian, my dad's family's Muslim. If
Did
that
she
makes
convert?
sense. She did convert.
Okay.
Yeah. So they both did Islamic Force, and they were really popular when I was a kid. So my first time on the stage, I was 2 years old. First time on the radio, I was 9 years old.
Wow.
You know, so they had me, and we had the cheat code. My uncle worked at the radio station too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, we
So they sang.
Yeah, my both of them sing and rap.
Wow.
They super talented. Yeah. So
that's where you get it from.
That's where I get it from for sure. They my dad was like Joe Jackson. You know, make me
No, wait a minute. In every way?
In every way.
Oh, damn.
You know what I'm saying? It is what it is at
He
this
was
point.
pushing you.
Oh yeah, he's very aggressive, but you know I'm from a long line of 29th Street, so you know what I'm saying. Like he
man,
aggressive. You know what I'm saying? He was pushing me, made sure I was able to protect my family.
And protect
you know what I'm saying?
yourself,
Make sure I knew how to handle myself and everything. So I appreciate it though. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
as a kid, you don't like it. You know what I mean? But as you get older, you understand, you know what I'm saying? There's no manual on parenthood, first and foremost. So my dad was like one of the few dads in the neighborhood. It wasn't a lot of fathers in my neighborhood, but I had mine. So you know what I mean?
So they stayed together the whole time?
They still together today.
Still together? That's amazing.
So I was the only household like that with the kids that was my age. So yeah, so you know, I'm grateful for that. So he was aggressive. And he always had, you know, high aspirations for me. He always said, you're going to be 10 times the man I am. And today he just be like, I told you. That's what he tell me. He said, I told you was going to do it. You know what I mean?
Awesome.
So he come to my house. He like, I like it. You know what I'm saying? I told you was going to do it. So
He's so proud of you.
He is. He's very proud. And he has a lot to do with it. He put a lot into me. He was very abusive. You know what I'm saying? But
that's a part of it, man.
It's a part of it. It made me who I am.
I was about to say, it wasn't necessary.
And I'm grateful because I see a lot of, you know, young adults, you know, especially in their 20s and stuff like that. I'm grateful I experienced so much young where I didn't feel like I had anything to prove. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So since I come from where I come from, I didn't have anything to prove later on, so I can be the quiet person in the room. I don't got to be loud. I'm very respectful. I actually don't want any problems. You know what I'm saying? Because I know what they look like. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm grateful for it at this point in my life. I understand what it comes with.
Being raised in that community with violence and gang around you and stuff like that, and your parents being in music, and sometimes they left you alone at home to run the house and so forth. Did you ever stray out into the streets?
Yeah, I mean, again, all of my stuff was protective based. So it will always be somebody else's problem that don't got nothing to do with me.
So you didn't join the gangs or?
No.
That's what I'm wondering.
I never
like
joined
that.
any gangs. I always, again, I didn't even, be honest with you, I used to ask my mom, why are you raising us here? In this neighborhood.
Right.
So I joke with some of my friends about it because some of my friends got to move out south into the suburbs and they just was mad at their mom. Like they want to go back to the hood. They want to do, you know, all the gang activities and stuff. And I was kind of forced into a bunch of situations that I would rather not have participated in because I really just wanted a good education and I wanted to play basketball and make my music, but it was just a whole bunch of distractions and stuff around. And then, you know, your friend is into something, you just have to make a choice. You know what I'm saying? You either gonna stand with your friend, make sure that he survives and that he's alive, or you can live with that regret for the rest of your life. So
what did your mom say when you asked her, why are we still living here?
Well, you know, I was a very smart kid. So, you know, she would explain like it was for financial reasons. And then I would ask a bunch of questions and be like, well, I did some research and we could actually stay in a smaller place. You know
did all of that. You tried to convince her, like, hey, you can afford it.
We can stay in a smaller place in the suburbs. You know, I don't mind sharing a room. You know what I'm saying? Like, we could do this, and then I could, you know, I'll have a better chance at basketball over here because our schools weren't accredited in the inner city no more. It was to the point where I was in advanced math, so we used my grandma's address when I was a freshman. So I got to go there for a year till they found out where I lived. But I was in advanced math class out there, and then I had to go back to the inner city because they found out where we lived.
Wow.
But
your grandma, if you're using your grandma's address, they could always say you lived there.
How
did they find out that you weren't there?
I was late a lot. You know what I'm saying? I was late a whole lot. My mom was having to take me to there and then go to work. It was a lot. So we ended up having to go to school in the inner city. But I was in advanced math out there. And when I came back, I was at the highest math level that my school had to offer me. So I had to take the same math class 3 years in a row.
Wow.
Man, that's crazy. Yeah. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I see the clothes you wearing, man. They look dope, man. This real brand. Let's talk about the real brand for a second.
Yes, and it stems from, like I said, my childhood and everything.
Pull that mic over a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, all right there.
Yeah, and it stems from my childhood. So rethink authentic lifestyle. You know, that's what real stands for. That's why the E is backwards.
That's hard.
I appreciate that a lot, man. And that's what I stand for. I have a unique voice in my city. You know, since I come from where I come from and have some shared experiences, you know, people listen to me that wouldn't listen to other people. So I'm all about us finding that innocent version of ourselves again and figuring out who we are outside of our environment. And that's what Rethink Authentic Lifestyle is to me.
Wow.
You know, and that's the message that I stand for.
How did you learn how to get your clothes designed? Like I see that right there, that's embroidered, and that's going to cost a little more. Yeah. Like, so how did you learn how to deal with that?
So again, man, like I've always had to kind of fight to be myself. I've always been into fashion and stuff like that. So at first it wasn't cool, but my mom taught me how to sew when I was in middle school.
Wow.
So I was sewing like my own jeans and getting creative. And like when I first started wearing my stuff to school, at first everybody had some jokes and stuff like that till I started getting a few compliments. Then everybody wanted them. You know what I'm saying?
Compliments by the girls.
Exactly. You know what I mean?
That's it. Everybody wants you.
Then they start pulling you to the side. Hey man, you think you give me some jeans like that? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know. So I started off young. So and then you start learning more about the industry and stuff as you get older, and you start streamlining things. So you start getting stuff from overseas, like sourcing. You know what I mean? And also learning about blanks and negotiating with different manufacturers to get the best price that you can because of the volume that you're doing. So it's just that long process.
Wow.
I know you familiar.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. Man, something I think about, man, is how did you know like you got your setup and I'm going up there tomorrow. Like, how did you know how to get a DBA and all that stuff and a certificate of occupancy and stuff?
So my whole thing was a huge blessing for me is I have a partner,
Okay.
And he's been in the clothing business for a while.
Okay.
So I had started to emerge as an artist and my brand started to emerge as well, to the point where a mutual friend of ours linked us up and said we need to work together. And after a while of us linking and communicating and stuff like that, he's like, man, I want to partner with you. You know what I'm saying? And we built it up from that point. So he was probably a year in business already before I got with him. You know what I'm saying? And we ended up building it up together from pretty much, tumbleweeds rolling through the store to, you know what I'm saying, like being one of the go-to spots when people come in town and everything.
Wow, that's live. I want to ask you about, just how did you get into music as far as the producing? The
producing side.
Yeah.
So again, my parents was in the music business. So I had a strong desire to get in as a young. So my pops, he was intentional. He put me on the stage at 2 years old. He put me on one of his records that he knew was going to radio and gave me that experience. And then he started a studio at Bannister Mall, which is like a historical mall at this point here, and had me running it. And I was like 11 years old.
Wow.
So he taught me some of the basics, but he just like left me with the equipment. And then I kind of like taught myself how to produce. I taught myself how to engineer, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I would be engineering all the clients that came through. So I recorded a lot of Kansas City's rappers' first songs and stuff here too.
Oh, yeah?
And I was like 11, you know what I'm saying? So like Black Walt, like I used to see like Mac James, who is Roy Scott now. He was one of a popular rapper here too. But I was like 11 years old, and I was like, man, what your little ass doing out here? You know what I'm saying? Get back in there. You need to get back in the studio. You know what I'm saying? Like keeping me out of trouble or stuff, or joking with me and stuff like that. I was always the young dude around all the OGs. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But that's where I learned. That's where I kind of really honed in my skills at Bannister Mall. You know what I'm saying? Producing and engineering a lot of the local talent here.
Did you? Okay. Now I know you did the Holding Court podcast. That's my boy. Yeah. Shout out to Big Court. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about? We down in Kansas City, Missouri. And I done linked up with the guy who did the song that I sang every time he come on my show. So I want you to give me that song. I want you to sing the song, but then we can talk about it. But yeah, I gotta put you on the spot.
You gotta put me on the spot. You gotta join in with me.
Okay, let's go.
I'm holding court. Hey, you're standing trial. Why ain't I see you round back when I was down?
Man, that's where that don't come on.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
So how did you end up doing that with him?
So it just hit me. So he calls me. I think he tested out a few different people. He calls me, asked, will I do it for him? What with the tick? I said, man, don't worry about it. I got you. So I start messing around with some melodies or whatever on the production side, and the hook just hit me. I recorded it. I sent him the first version. He wanted a couple tweaks, and then I tweaked it. Sent him the second version. This was all in one night too.
Wow.
Second version was ready to go.
So when you did it, you knew because you sing the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
How long is it? Like 2 minutes or
It's
a minute?
like a minute,
a
30 seconds. So the full, we just did the hook first.
Yeah,
we did the hook version first, and then he hit me, said we need like a whole record. You know what I'm saying? So then I put the verse on there and kind of brought it home. But it didn't take long at all. Like my writing process is like Tech walked in, like, so I work with JL at Strange. I was working on his album with him. I'm doing my verse. I write in my head. I have since I was 19 years old. I ain't wrote my lyrics down since I was 19. So my process is kind of crazy. Like songs just kind of hit me, if that makes sense. So it's like pretty quick, pretty snappy. You know what I mean? Yeah.
She looking for something. I don't know what she doing.
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is that like he was lying? Like is he in there punching
I'm just
in?
paying attention.
Okay.
Well, Tech, you know, he was like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? When he seen my process, like, you know what I'm saying?
How big was that?
It was dope. So the thing is, you know, I've known him so long at this point, it was just like, you know what I'm saying? But in the beginning, you know what I'm saying, it was like starstruck almost.
How did you meet him? How did you meet Tech?
So I moved back from Atlanta. So I ended up winning 3rd in the world in audio engineering coming out of high school. Because I had been doing it since I was 11.
3rd in the world.
Yeah.
Wow,
so
that's big.
Art Institute of Atlanta had a competition, and it was like if you get in the top, I think it was 10, then you would get some sort of scholarship. And I was 3rd, and I got a scholarship to go out there and for audio engineering.
Wow.
And my wife, who I met in middle school, who's my wife now, like she ended up dropping out of college and moving out there with me. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And then we got pregnant. You know what I'm saying?
We got pregnant.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
man.
you know, the baby's on the way. She felt it'd be more responsible for us to, you know, be here than to be out there without our family to have any help to watch the baby, so on and so forth. So I ended up moving back. It was kind of depressing for me because I didn't feel like we had a music business here. I felt like the music
Everything
business
was there.
Yeah, in Atlanta. So I was like, well, in KC, we got Hot 103 Jams and Tech N9Ne. So that was my whole goal. Like, how can I get to the radio station and how can I get to Tech? So my uncle, like 6 degrees of separation, I'm thinking of everybody I know that knows Tech. I'm thinking of all the connections to the radio station. At the time, my uncle was working at the radio station, and he also had a relationship with Tech N9ne. So I gave my uncle my album called The Program, and he played it for Tech, and Tech was rocking with me. You know what I'm saying? He invited me over to his house. That's how I met him.
Wow.
After he heard my album.
He heard your album. He rocked out with you. Man, that's dope, man. Like I said, it's been a lot of people. Some people say I met him. Some people, you know, they hadn't met him.
Yeah.
But he's dope for the city, man. And what do you see in him when you see him for the way he is?
The biggest thing with Tech, man, is we were really blessed with him being like our ambassador in a way, because he's got a big heart and he's always really trying to look and see how he can impact the city in a positive way, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So he's always trying to find the next big thing out of Kansas City and give him some type of look with his platform, if that makes sense. So he's huge for us, for real, man. Because we could have had somebody that been like, nah, nigga, you know what I'm saying? You stay over there. You know what I'm saying? But he's always been like, nah, come on. You know what I'm saying? Like, he had me at Power and Light. It's like 10,000 people. It's like you can't see the end of people. I'm on stage in front of all them because of him. You know what I'm saying? So he's done that for a lot of people here. And I always give him his flowers. He know that.
Man, I know I had some young boys on. They talked about, I said, who's the hottest rapper in Kansas City?
Yeah.
Missouri. And they said, Rich the Factor. I said, what?
Yeah.
No, I was like, what? This really happened on my show.
I know.
Did you see it?
I mean, I don't have to see it because I know that's going to be a lot of people's
Rich
answer.
the Factor.
That's going to be a lot of people's answer.
I said, bruh. I said, man, I ain't never heard of no Rich the Factor.
So
I'm telling you. But
so
I said, the only one I know is Tech N9ne up there. Nigga, y'all gonna come in. It went like that. We started, because I was talking my talk.
You know what it is.
I come to find out, since I've been listening to Rich the Factor, ever since they put me on him.
Yeah.
That nigga go hard. His voice sound different, bro. He got that struggling voice, man. I ain't even know it. They were playing him a while ago in there.
Okay.
They playing the hell out of him.
Rich the Factor is hard, so I'll fuck with Rich. I think what it is a lot of people relate to Rich the Factor more
The streets.
than Tech N9ne's music at this point. You know what I'm saying? N9Ne is grown to be super successful, almost like hard to relate to in some ways, like, you know what I'm saying, to a lot of people. So unless you know you're on that type of path or trajectory, it may be hard for you to catch some things where Rich the Factor, you know, has the same style of music since we were kids. You know what I'm saying?
He gonna come when you put a beat on. He gonna go in.
He going in every time, and you know what you're gonna get from him.
You know exactly what's coming.
Exactly what's coming. You know,
and he gonna do it. It's gonna be done.
It's gonna be that Boss Talk 101.
You know what I'm saying? He gonna talk that talk.
He gonna talk that talk. Yeah, Rich gonna talk that talk.
But we got, you know, my boy. He getting back in his bag, and he coming back to, you know, this Kansas City sound on this new album. My boy N9Ne.
Yeah.
So this supposed to be the one that.
Yeah, my boy. Shout out my bro JP's.
JP's was just on here. I just had him on here.
That's JP's, my brother, man.
JP's is he said he gonna bring it.
He got the slaps.
He said he finna bring it.
He got the slaps. You know he just did Richie Rich whole project.
Yeah. You think it's gonna bring it back to that Ken?
Oh yeah. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I feel like it's a great combination. You know what I'm saying? It's still tech, but it gives you some of that nostalgia feeling. You know what I'm saying? That we all grew to love when he first started out too. So it's gonna be a powerful project for sure. And I'm proud of Jay Peasy, man. Golly, man.
Jay Peasy did it different. Jay Peasy went up to Oakland and he made people recognize he wasn't gonna give up.
Yeah, he did.
I thought that was dope. I love a story like that.
Nah, his story is amazing, man. And you know, he never stopped. And you know, we kind of talk each other through the whole way. You know, somebody I talk to almost every day. So
really?
Yeah, Jay Peasy, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. Because he kept saying your name a while ago. I got sick of him doing it. I said, man, I'm going to interview Suli in a minute.
Right.
He was like, man, this Suli.
He talk about you all.
Yeah, he did. I just thought about that the whole time.
Yeah,
he kept. Didn't I say that earlier? I was like, he kept saying this man's name during this damn interview.
Yeah, that's my guy.
So you help him with producing and stuff too? Man, y'all came up together or what?
Yeah. We help each other with everything we can. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just what we do, man. So, and we encourage each other. Like when E40 first liked this post, I'm like, bro, you got to post.
He told me
3 times a day.
That's what he said. He said it was, if it wasn't up to you. Yeah, you kept pushing him.
Cause you know he'd be like, we'd be in the studio when we was younger too. We'd be in the studio. He'd be like, I'm ready to go to sleep. Like, we gonna call it one. I'm like, call it one. You know what I'm saying? Like, we young. Like, we gotta get to it. Like, ain't no calling it one. He's like, well, I got work in the morning, man.
Yeah, because he said he worked at the hospital.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, at the time I had
4 in the morning.
Yeah, at the time I had work in the morning too. So, but he also got to see me like transition, like go full entrepreneur. My wife ain't worked in 9 years now.
Wow,
you know
that's dope.
Like,
that's
you know
dope.
what I'm saying? Like, and him seeing my transition. And then us encouraging each other along the way, like, you know what I'm saying? He took that leap of faith, man, and got out there, did more stuff with E40, got more stuff with Richie Rich. He got a bunch of stuff behind the scenes. With Dog, all type of people at this point.
Wow, so, man. Yeah. Man, top 3 artists of all time, dead or alive.
Any genre. Go, yeah.
Your
top 3. We need your top
3 artists, period?
Yes,
of all time.
Oh, that's easy.
Any genre.
Dead or alive.
Any
genre. I got Jay-Z, Michael Jackson, and Tupac.
Okay.
He was thinking about it from the last time.
Yeah, because he was over here. Jay-Z, Michael Jackson, and Tupac.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Oh, easy.
Yeah.
All right, man. So,
because you know I was trying to get the moves down, man. When I was a kid, boy, I was trying to get the Michael Jackson.
You didn't have that red jacket, did you?
Nah, I didn't do the. I didn't rock with the clothes.
Man, you come up a little too late.
What was your favorite move?
My favorite move, the moonwalk.
Oh, the moonwalk. You had it down
back. Yeah. I had my version of it. I had my version of the moonwalk.
What's the address to that store, man? So people know where to come.
1121 Emmanuel Cleaver Boulevard. You know what I'm saying? Kansas City, Missouri. 64110.
And what's your website?
Yeah, right up the street. Suli4Q.com. You can also download the app built by yours truly. I built the app too.
You built the app?
Yeah, Suli4Q, the app. Yep. In the App Store right now on the Apple Store.
Is it
a free
Android
app or
too?
you have to pay for it?
It's only on Apple right now. It's free.
It's a free app.
It's a free app. You get all my releases before they hit the DSPs too. So you get all my music there. You can support by paying whatever you want for each release. You know what I'm saying? And I've had the app out for, since 2019. I've been doing it that way.
So you've been building it.
Oh yeah, and it's been a dope thing because some people pay as high as like $2,000 for an album. You know what I'm saying? Some people be like, I want it for free. but you just kind of allow them to have that type of thing, allow them to support you how they want to. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So I've had that for a while, but my app, it also got games on there that I built as well. So I got a war game that's me, my late friend, Two Gun Kiwi, rest his soul, and N9Ne. We dropped a short film in September, and it has a game that accompanies it as well. You know what I'm saying, that I built too. So
games are the way, especially that all these kids are on their PS5s all the time playing games.
Yep.
Why don't you build more games? There's a lot of money in that.
Time. Yeah.
How long does it? How hard is it to build a game?
Well, the thing is, like, you build a game and you think you got it built until you get the errors. So you spend. I think the joke with development is, like, it take you a small amount of time to actually develop it, and then the rest of the time you just fixing everything. You know what I'm saying? So that's the challenge. Is like you build the game, and then all these errors pop up while you trying to play it, or you trying to test it out with your user base. You know what I'm saying? Or they message you and you got errors to fix. So the more games you got out, the more errors you got to fix. You know what I'm saying? Unless you got a huge development team. My development team is a decent size right now, but it can use some water.
I want to talk to you. I want to go back. I just thought about something. You had a near-death experience. I want to talk about that for people to understand what you went through.
So, so I had blood clots in my lungs, too many for them to count. I had pneumonia in my lungs, and then I also had caught COVID in the hospital too.
So this was during the time of COVID?
It was during the time of COVID, and I had COVID, pneumonia in my lungs, and I had blood clots in my lungs, and it was too many blood clots to count. They couldn't do surgery. It was past that point because I had been coughing up blood for a while.
Wow, that had to be scary.
And I was going in and out of consciousness probably for like 3 months. And I was telling my wife, like, I was like, man, I just don't feel right. Like, I feel like, and I was like, I hate to say this, I don't want to scare you, but it feel like I'm like coming in and out of life almost. It ain't like I'm just tired. It feel like I'm fading away for real.
Was it hard for you to breathe?
Yeah, I couldn't breathe for real. It was hard for me to breathe. And then again, like growing up how I did, like you think you're supposed to walk everything off. You're supposed to just tough it out. So I'm playing basketball, and then I'm coughing up blood, and they're like, what's wrong? You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, nah, it's good.
Like,
check
what you
ball.
got?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, check ball. You know what I'm saying? Like, we still hooping and stuff like that. And it got real bad the last time I hooped. When I got back to the crib, I was coughing up quite a bit of blood. And I was talking to my cousin, and she was like, boy, if you don't go to the hospital right now, she saved my life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But she like forced the issue. Like, you better go right now. And I walked into the hospital and had to be wheelchaired out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I couldn't walk. I lost my ability to walk and, use my limbs properly. I lost my voice, so I didn't know if I was gonna be able to rap or do music again. So that was a harsh reality to kind of sit through. And then I also went unresponsive 3 times.
How long did you go through this?
So I didn't get fully like back to myself till like a year ago. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
That long?
Yeah. So I
that was
medicine,
2000 what? 1920?
The end of 21 and
till now.
Till a year ago.
Till a year ago.
Yeah.
So 2 years.
Yeah. So
wow.
So
how long were you in the hospital for?
I was in the hospital. They let me out. I want to say like 3 weeks. So I was in there for like 3 weeks, and then I got out at home, and then my wife was taking care of me. You know what I mean? So, and you got your pride too. So I'm almost killing myself trying to open water bottles, knowing I ain't supposed to. And she trying to help me. I'm like, no, I got it. Leave me alone. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, your tears start coming down because you're trying to force it, but you can't do what you used to be able to do.
Tough.
So it's like mentally, it's like, and I'm very prideful, so I'm trying to do everything myself still. I'm like, get off me. No,
Did they ever tell you what caused all that blood clots?
So turns out, you know what I'm saying, I won't get too deep into this because it something affect our family, but turns out it was hereditary. But I didn't know a part of my family.
You didn't?
I didn't
your
know. Your
mom's side or your dad's side?
My dad's side.
So you don't know them?
I know them now. We just met them. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, but before you didn't.
But before we didn't know. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's a touchy subject. I don't want to get too much into it.
No, that's fine.
But we found, it was like a family secret, and we found out, and, it turns out it is hereditary. You know what I'm saying? But they didn't know what happened at first.
See, that's why I hate, you know how you have all of these single parent households and stuff like that. Usually the baby mamas get mad at the daddies. Oh, I'm your mama and your daddy. You don't have to know them, whatever.
Yeah.
These are the cases that I'm always telling people. The children need to know their fathers, need to know their family because of medical issues that come down the bloodline that if you don't know, you won't know what to tell these doctors.
Exactly. And that was tough. You know, that's one of the toughest things about it is like, it's so many people that I'm meeting now that's my family that's just like me. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the craziest thing. It's like it make you not feel as crazy or alone in your thinking and so on and so forth. It's like it turns out this part of my family, like I'm a lot alike.
You have to just own it.
Yeah, and they like telling you remedies like you ain't supposed to eat as much greens, you supposed to eat more pineapples and so on and so forth to help prevent it. So it's like family like things because it's like a part of.
So like, vegetables, I mean greens cause blood clots?
Well, I guess it thickens your blood. It thickens.
Oh, really?
It's like it. I'm not a doctor. So
I know, but this is what works for you.
The pineapples kind of thin the blood. I was told so. You know, it's some type of thing like that, but
we love home remedies now, so that's why I'm like, shoot.
So it's like the pineapples and turmeric and a few other things like ginger.
Do you do it?
Yeah, I do the pineapples.
Okay, just want to make sure you're doing it.
No, I'm on top of it because I made a choice. I was in there and it was very peaceful. You know what I'm saying? Like, it does give me a sense of comfort with the people that I lost with my experience of being unresponsive because I can remember how peaceful it was. It's like almost like you feel like you're a star in the sky, kind of like it's just black and you know that you exist, but you also don't know any, like you just exist. That's it. You just exist. There's nothing else. There's no memories. There's no nothing. So like to this day I feel detached from my body. Like this feels like a vessel now. You know what I'm saying? Versus before you could be a little into yourself. You could feel like, okay, this is me. I don't feel that way no more. So, even like as a rapper, it's like a good thing to have sometimes like that, but it's like gone. You know what I'm saying? Like it's as far as like like I'm here for everybody else. You know what I'm saying? I'm here like cuz I was good. You know what I'm saying? I was good. Like I felt like I had but I thought about my children.
That's what I was about to ask you.
Yeah, I thought about my wife. I thought about my children and my parents. You know what I'm saying? I knew how devastating it'd be to my parents to have to bury their son. You know what I'm saying? And my wife, I didn't think she could handle it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think she was in a position to handle that, especially at that time. So that's what made me fight, because I had to fight what the doctors was telling me too. They telling me I'm gone for real.
Wow. The doctors don't ever know. They don't,
man. And it really made me mad. They had me on all this medicine too, and they tell me I'm gonna have to take this medicine for the rest of my life, which is going to be short. You know what I'm saying? And Krizz, like he was saying, when I got my voice back, he was talking to me like he had somebody who ended up being my cousin.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying? The person that he said that encouraged me to continue to live. Later, I found out she's actually my cousin, and she had blood clots too.
So it's almost like a lot of people who have that, they're all related because it comes down the bloodline.
Yeah, so it is a hereditary thing. Right. Like you're more prone to it. So the same thing can happen to me that happens to somebody else. I get a blood clot.
So you just have to watch it. You have to
be, because I think it can easily. It normally happens from an injury, and what I think happened is I was hooping. And I had injured my ankle, like actually walking into the spot. We got ice on the floor. I slipped and hurt my ankle. And then I played on it. And then my ankle was hurting for a minute. So I think I had got a blood clot.
And it travels.
And it traveled up. And then
people don't realize it can do that.
Over time. And I just never went and got checked it out or nothing. I was like, I'm good. You know what I mean? I'm good. People were saying, like, you should get this. It's been a minute now. I'm like, nah, I'll be straight. You know what I'm saying?
So did those blood clots that you have in your lung, did they dissolve now?
Yeah, they gone.
So they just go away?
And you know what's crazy about it is, like, I went in for a checkup one time, and I just been, like, law of attraction type vibes, like, I'm healthy. I'm not going to have to take these blood thinners. I like to hoop, too. I still be hooping. And they like, you can't play basketball no more on this blood thinners because if you get injured, you die. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because the blood just yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they like, you can't do this, so on and so forth. And I'm like, I'm gonna be at a hoop. I'm gonna be healthy. I'm gonna get back to my music. I'm gonna be on stage. You know what I'm saying? And one of my checkups, I went in there and they said, I don't know what happened. They're gone. All of them.
Wow.
All of them, they just gone.
Because do you think it's the home remedies, or do you think it's the medication, or maybe a combination of both?
I don't think it was the medic. Yeah, it's God for sure. It was like, it felt like a choice. It felt like I could just let it happen, and it was like an exit point. It's like I could just allow myself to be gone right now, or I can live. It felt like a choice, honestly. And once I decided I was going to live, I started doing everything. Like, it's funny, I called Krizz Kaliko. I remember I called him, was like, bro, I just did a push-up. Like one push-up. And I was so hyped, and he almost started crying. You know what I'm saying? Because I was like so hyped about one push-up. You know what I mean? So, but I literally, like on some Rocky type time, like I had to I was crawling around the house at one point, not letting nobody help me, to being able to walk around the house, be able to do a wall push-up, do a regular push-up on a floor,
right,
and then being able to do one lap around the house without feeling like I was about to die. You know what I'm saying? Like in walking, and then I would go into our backyard and I would walk a lap out there, and I would do it like every day, whatever I could do, and then I could do 2 laps, and I could do 3.
How old were your kids at this time when they were seeing this?
So it was tough because my daughter's, I want to say it was her 10th birthday, I want to say, or her 9th birthday. It was one of the two, because she's 13 now, so I think it was her 10th birthday. I was in the hospital, and I paid for her birthday and had my brother take them out and stuff, so I paid for everything, make sure she had the birthday that she wanted. But I had to tell her happy birthday from the
FaceTime or something.
Yeah, from the FaceTime,
So how did all of this affect her, though, seeing you the way how you were, coming home and you couldn't really walk, you couldn't do anything? How did this affect her?
It was tough. It was tough for them, It was tough,
But it's all good, man. Like I said, God brought you through, bro. You know what I'm saying? God have a way of doing things that no man can do. And what I really like about your story is you got it, because you said, it was in me. I made a decision to keep going. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, what you saying to me is, so as a man think is in his heart,
right,
so is he.
The power of the tongue.
Yeah. So you felt this in you, like you felt like I can do this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the cold part, when you know I'm gonna dig down and get it done. You know what I'm saying? And I think that was what your story, that I had to ask you about that, because that inspires, others who've been through. You know what I mean? Who go through. You know what I'm saying? You could have died and God gave you a second chance, but he said, I decided that it's something in me to say I can keep going.
Yeah.
It's like you made the decision. Yeah. I could have gave up, but I made the decision to keep going. Ain't that hard?
Yeah, for sure. And that's, the beautiful thing about it too is it really put me in a position where it's like, I know who I am, I know what I'm made of, and I've always been a warrior. You know what I mean? Yeah. I always been like that. Like every life and death situation I always faced it head on.
Yeah.
And I treated it like, I'm a win. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna make it happen. And I was grateful that I was still in a financial position to take care of my family, during that time.
Right.
Yeah.
And my daughter and them, they didn't want for nothing. They still had everything that they had.
That's good.
And I kept a strong face on for them the whole time. You know what I'm saying?
And you made it through.
Yeah. They didn't see me break down or nothing. I held it together. I got it done for them.
Man, I thought about the crawling around the house, and just to who you are now, walking up in here and just killing this interview, and they were talking about the entrepreneurial spirit, being your partner Krizz, and y'all just having things going. Man, God had a different plan.
For sure.
God had a plan for this thing to keep going, man. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the part right there, man. And it's inspiration to others that watch our channel to say, hey, man, you can be at a near point and going through it so far to where you don't know if you're gonna make it, and then you can decide to make it.
Yeah, you can,
because of the inner man in you.
Exactly.
And it all starts up here.
Come on, I said that earlier. It starts in the mind.
Yeah,
that mind. If you can make your mind, if you can control the mind, the actions will follow. You see what
if you can leave all that fear out of your mind, because a lot of times we sit down and we tell mind, we gonna do this. Then comes the fear sneaking in. But what's supposed, or the procrastination and everything else comes after that
I think
thought.
it's about having. I think it's about having like processes in place. Like for me, I had this thing I do in my head, like erase and replace. So when I have, because a lot of people pretend, especially like people that come from where I come from, a lot of people pretend like they're not afraid of nothing. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like this true strength is being able to be aware when you're afraid, but still facing it head on. You know what I mean? You still face it, but you have to allow yourself and understand, you know, fear's place in everything.
Right.
But erase and replace. So if I have a negative thought that I don't want to come to reality, I replace it with the positive version of it. You know what I mean? So if I'm fearful of something, I think of the outcome that I want, and I place that outcome upon me facing it. So it's like, as long as I take this head on, this is going to happen. Like, I kept telling myself, like, all right, I'm going to use this as an opportunity, because a lot of stuff required me before I went into the hospital. So I was like, I'm going to use this as an opportunity to make most of the stuff that I got going on passive. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go ahead and dive deeper into my development skills and get some stuff going on that end too. Like, since I'm not able to use my voice yet, I'm going to get on this computer and I'm going to sharpen my tools on there, and I'm going to get huge blessings out of that. And I ended up, my first development deal while I was sick, I got was $150,000. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, that's huge.
You know what I mean? And that was while I'm on my medicine and all that type of stuff. And it came from, again, just that faith and belief, because I'm going against big corporations, and what took them 6 months to build, the company was unhappy with what they had built in 6 months. And my boy was on the board. He calls me and is like, if you could build this in 3 days, I think we can get the business.
Wow.
3 days versus 6 months. I built it in 3 days. Got the deal, 150. That was my first one.
Super dope.
I was able to build from there.
Crazy.
But just, my wife, you need to get rest, so on and so forth. But, for me, I'm just like, I'm learning my body. I'm figuring it out. I'm like, I could man through this right here. Like, I can get through this part right here. She's like, she's panicking.
How dope is she though, man? Like, to hang in there like that.
Man, that's my soulmate, man. We met in middle school.
I heard you say
since
that.
we was 11 years old. So it's just different.
Yeah.
It's just different when you know someone, when you grow up with somebody like that. You know
She
what I
showed
mean?
you a lot of love, didn't she, man?
Yeah,
and you showed her a lot of love.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
hard, man. I like it.
You know what I mean?
Thank you so much for coming on the show and sharing your story, man.
Man, no problem, man.
How can people get a hold of you if they trying to?
Suli4Q. Follow me on all social media. Suli4Q. Suli4Q.com. Suli4Q the app. You know what I'm saying? All my music is on there. You can check out my short films on the app as well. I got one that recently dropped called War with N9Ne, and I got Two Gun Kiwi, Live Forever, Two Gun Kiwi. And yeah.
Thank you so much, man.
problem.
We love you, brother.
Likewise.
I hope this don't be the last time you come on Boss Talk 101.
Yeah.
I might need to get me a song from you, something for some of my other show.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because y'all boys killed that hole in court and standing trial. I don't know why, but y'all boys came
Shout out
up
to
with one.
XO too. She cold.
Oh, we on Boss Talk 101. Yeah. Thank you so much, man.
Yeah,
It's been another great segment of Boss Talk 101.
Where the boss is talk.
Man.
Yeah.